If you just started rapping or you're trying to level up your technique, you're gonna want to stick around. This is the first in our new series where we're gonna take you panel by panel through the rap. We're gonna break things down, show you how we tackle problem areas, and of course, we're gonna show you the tools and techniques that we use along the way. If you've got any questions, make sure you drop them down in the comments below. We're gonna be answering as many questions as we can in every video moving forward. Make sure you subscribe, that way you don't miss any of the next part of the build. You guys subscribing to us makes it possible to keep bringing you content like this. Let's get into it. What's up guys? Today we're gonna be laying out the rear bumper. So what I'm gonna first start off by doing is starting off at one side. I'm gonna roll the backing paper behind the material. Then I'm gonna just give this side a light tack. Hold it in place with a magnet. Then I'm gonna take the rest of my backing paper, run it right off behind. Then I'm gonna remove my cap sheet. From here, if I like how the center's looking, I could already start to work out some of the bubbles before I glass it. So I'm gonna take my glove and my heat gun. I'm gonna just start working out, just start tacking the middle. Start tacking the center. Work the middle out as much as I can. So now what I'm gonna do is pick the material back up. I'm gonna pick the material back up to about right here, and then just give it a nice glass. I'm not worried about those wrinkles in the center, because I can fix those from the middle. So I'll be heating up a portion of the material at a time.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
When it comes to glassing out bumpers by yourself, a key factor is that you want to make sure you're applying enough heat to where the material is malleable, but not so much heat to where it's gummy and you're overstretching it. As you can see, the film is all one solid color throughout. If we were to overstretch it by applying too much heat and pulling too hard, the material then goes to a different color, discoloring it essentially. But to avoid that, you want to apply heat, but don't pull too hard. You want to have firm tension on it. I'm gonna pull nice and tight. Glass the material out. Then we're gonna repeat this process all the way to the end of the bumper. So I'm gonna get these out because the bumper goes up to right here. Not liking these too much. I might just re-pick it up. So since the wrinkles were flowing horizontal, all I had to do was pick the material up, give it a little bit of heat, and let it relax onto the film. Let it relax onto the bar. Now we're going to repeat the glassing process all the way till we get to the end. Now we're done with this side. Not done, but we're going to come back to it. We have it pretty much glassed out. We're going to glass out the other side and then work out all the air. So I'm gonna start fixing some of these guys real quick. So now, just like the other side, we're gonna lift the material up and then apply some heat and glass it up. We're pretty much good until about right here. That should give us some structure, nice and even all the way down. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing, working our way out. If you can't glass it all in one big section, break it down into smaller sections, maybe a foot by foot thing. You know, whatever makes it easier for you. All right, now that we have this main part blast out, I'm gonna do the bottom section here. So now what I'm gonna do is heat this portion up, just like we were doing the big section. We're gonna heat this entire part up and then just glass it down. Like I said in the beginning, you wanna heat the material up till you get it to where it's malleable, but not too, and don't pull it too hard. You just wanna do it just enough to where you can let the material relax onto the panel. Get out any little air pockets. So now what I'm going to do first is make a relief cut. Just get some tension off of the film. Then I'm going to start giving this a little bit of heat, maybe even just working it up. Okay. Now I'm going to apply heat. Let the material cool down for a couple seconds. Then I'm going to come from the edge, start working my way in. See how right here there's a lot of tension? We're going to try to push it in and it doesn't want to move. What I'm going to do is then make another relief cut here. Now it's going to be a lot looser. I could even make another relief cut here. You want to work the film in as deep as you can. If you're not comfortable with this, you could definitely throw an inlay in here after the fact. The trunk does cover a lot of this portion, so we don't have to go super deep. Now I'm going to just continue feeding the material in. I might be making a relief cut here soon. That way this could all fall right into place. So I'm going to go ahead and make a relief here. And this is about as far as I need to go because I know that you could keep going, but for the sake of you guys doing it at home. I know that when the trunk closes down, this is just about as much as we need to get to cover it. So I'm gonna give myself just a nice straight line. If you aren't comfortable cutting on your car yet, go ahead and use some knifeless tape. Just draw that out. We gotta tuck the rest of it. So now what I'm gonna do is continue to feed in the rest of this. Just giving it a little bit of heat. Make our relief cuts. Same thing on this side. Now I'm gonna just make this line nice and straight. So now I'm gonna feed the material into this recess down here. This little gap in between the bumper. I'm gonna cut some of this off. The diffuser area, just to make it easier to grab and feed. Good. I'm on this road and I don't know where my heart is headed. Oops. Now I'm going to be cutting right underneath the bottom of the bumper. I just want to make sure that I have majority of it tacked. This is going to be just like the wheel well, where we're going to heat it up and then roll the material in. We're going to cut on the deepest side of the bumper. Since I already have this taped off, I'm going to be cutting on the tape, and I want to go just right past my bumper line, or my bumper, just right past the quarter panel on the opposite edge. Remove my excess. This still looks like a lot, so I'm going to cut this down a little bit more. Then I'm going to lift the material up off of the edge. I'm going to take my I'm going to take my, check here. I'm going to take my little chiseler. I'm going to start tucking the material in as much as I can. And if you don't have a loose enough bumper to where you can get the film to go underneath, you could just cut this down, but you run the risk of being short. So what I'm going to do actually is wedge this squeegee into the corner. Then I'm going to just start tucking the material as much as I can in. A tip for you guys: loosen up your bumpers if it's really tight and you don't have a big enough gap to go behind. But in this case, I'm still just gonna tuck through. If this isn't working out for you, what you could do is actually cut some of this off right in the middle. Because you might be trying to tuck too much material, like I was. So in that case, I'm tucking it as much as I can and then just cutting off excess. quarter panel side of the material. Okay, now we're going to cut down the tail light. Going right past the opposite edge of it. Being real faint. Now I'm going to start lifting the material up off the tail light. Use my little chiseler to tuck it in. If you don't have one of these, you can get, you can just use a hard edge of your squeegee. That too works. By the time you're done, your finished bumper should look something like this. What's up, guys? We're going to be wrapping the bumper on the S5. We do have a RS5 front bumper that we converted to. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the inlays on that. There's only 2 inlays on here. It's not a super complex bumper, and the rest of it's going to be one piece. So we're going to get it done. As you can see, the grills are all taken out. So what I would recommend for you guys is to actually take your bumper off, remove any grills, fog lights. This is just going to make it a lot easier on you because you're going to be able to reach into those deeper areas. And then put it back on because it's going to be a lot more stable when you're going to glass the film out. It's going to be, you're not going to need another set of hands to like hold the bumper down or like any weight added onto it or a stand or anything like that. So yeah, this is all ready to go. So first we're going to start off with the inlays. So whenever you're wrapping any bumper, you want to start with your inlays first. I'm going to be putting an inlay right on the side here as a little strip, and I'm going to draw it out to a triangle right here on that point. Another good tip to do is you could actually loosen the bumpers so they pop in and out easier when you go to tuck them. Starting off, I'm going to go ahead and throw some knifeless tape. Just right on this bottom edge. Okay, now that I have my knifeless laid, I'm just taking a strip. I'm gonna be laying it right inside. I'm just feeding the material as far as I can into the inlay, I do have, we're going to be cutting it a little bit shorter because we have some tabs that the grill needs to slap into. So we're going to cut it just a little bit shorter from there. And get this outside done. Now we're actually ready to pull our knifeless tape. I'm going to cut some of this off. It makes it a little easier on us. Go ahead and put your finger on your knifeless. Give it some tug. Right till it snaps or doesn't work. Perfect. Love to see it. So when that happens, go to your other side and pull the knifeless from there. So go ahead and put your finger down. Give it some tugs. So you get it to pull right down the center. You're gonna pull it all the way through. Perfect. And now it's important to make sure you pull out both pieces of the knifeless. Remove your excess. I like to just run my finger over that knifeless part that we just did just to lock it in. Then I'm going to be doing a freehand cut into this recess here. And we're just going to be cutting all the way around the tabs. Oh. Look at those tabs. Okay, let's give it some heat. Yeah, there's a hole there. Yep, those guys. So if our inlay sits a little, I feel like that's a little too high, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little cut, be right underneath. Whenever you're doing any inlays on a bumper, most of the time you're gonna have to do that on the other side because you gotta keep it symmetrical. You can't just do an inlay on one side and let the other side hang. So now I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the inlay on the other side. Same thing. I'm gonna start off with my knifeless. And I want to bring it more on the bottom side since I don't want that bottom piece to hang over too much. Since I'm dealing with a bigger piece, I'm just gonna make her a leaf cut. That way this can go over nice and easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna pull the knifeless. Good still?
Yep.
So now I'm gonna be rolling the bumper material onto the car. What I like to do is, just like the rear bumper, I like to tack some of it down. But since we do have this rolled up, I'm just gonna be holding it and unrolling it as we go. So I'm gonna tack down, make sure I have enough height. Then I'm gonna roll the backing paper as I go along the front bumper. And then I have too much excess on the end, so I'm going to cut that off. Roll the rest of it out. Now I like to remove the cap sheet. And since it's partially laid out, what we're ready to do is actually start glassing or start tacking down the middle, just like the rear bumper. And we have a lot of open space in the middle since there's no grill. So all we're going to be really tacking to is the center right here. So then, same thing as the rear bumper. So now we're going to heat it up section by section, and then we're going to glass it out. Since there's no bottom half that I have to work the material into, I'm mainly focusing on the top. One more glass and we should be good. to give myself some stability, like I did on the other side, I'm actually gonna pre-glass this out on the top first. That way, what this is gonna do is help me get less wrinkles down here. Get the soft wrinkle first. These will come out from the bottom. Not too worried about those. What you definitely could do, since this is a big opening, is we could actually make a relief cut. I'm gonna do it right here. I'm doing it still away, even though we have this inlaid, I'm still doing it away from the inlay. Just you never can be too safe. Then I'm gonna get some of these soft spots out. I'm gonna apply some heat. So now for my inlay, I'm gonna get these wrinkles out first. So there's my inlay right there. And I actually like to cut this first, right underneath, right on my inlay. Or you can cut it while it's dangling. Now we're going to be using this piece to feed in. So I'll go ahead and lay all this down. Then this is a little too much material here, so I'm going to just cut it about right here. And we're going to take this piece and we're going to feed it into this portion of the bumper. A little bit of heat. What I like to do first, so if you guys didn't see, is I like to almost heat it up and then push over the inlay first. That way I can make sure I'm not short, and then I'll come work the bottom side. Okay, now I'm gonna fix these guys. Apply a little heat. I'm gonna hold down, take my squeegee, start cutting the wrinkles. By cutting them, I mean I'm going at the same angle that the wrinkles are flowing. We can also cut this a little more. Now before I cut anything down here, I'm gonna make sure I heat it up. Now when we go to put the grill in, it's nice and covered. Now we're gonna be cutting out the center of the grill. We still got a tuck up in here, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna be cutting just shorter, still giving myself room to tuck. Now this also allows me access to pull out any wrinkles like this. We can also trim this down some more. I want to lock in this edge. Little wrinkle right here. Then I can start picking this up. I'm gonna apply some heat. Like a thinner squeegee, make sure it's fully tucked. Then we're gonna cut it right on the bottom edge. Okay. Now I'm gonna start feeding the material into the grill area. Just making sure I cut it deep enough so I can still get the grill in there. I'm not covering any of these little ridges that it has. Pop the grill in there, it's gonna be good. Now we're gonna cut down the taillight and the side of the bumper. The taillight, excuse me, the headlight on the side of the bumper. All right, so for the headlight, I like to apply heat. Get this nice and straight. A key tip, if you're not comfortable within your blade skills, always use tape on anything you're going to be cutting on when it comes to the car. I'm going to start lifting the material up off the headlight. Tucking it underneath as much as I can. If you can't tuck it underneath the light, say it's too tight, you could always just cut down your excess that you have tucked. Now for actually tucking the side, cutting and tucking the side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Then what I'm going to do is actually pop this bumper out a little bit. Now I can start heating and tucking all this down. Go. Top of this bumper is fairly thin. Not the top, but this portion is fairly thin. Just cut it down. Make sure we heat it. Not just like the wheel well. And your finished bumper should look something like, well, actually, your whole finished car. That shit is tough.